Today on The Occult Detective, it's the glitz and the glamour of a book haul. Picked up some terrific items at the book warehouse yesterday, and I thought I'd share them with you this morning. And, well, let's just dive right in. Let's start with E.A. Wallace Budge's The Gods of the Egyptians. Now, I have several of Budge's works. I was an anthropology major in college, so his work was well known to me. This is kind of completes the trifecta of his best works. Largely, discounted now, but I still have a fondness for his work. How about The Mushroom Hunter's Field Guide? This is by Alexander Smith, and this is just a terrific book. I love hunting mushrooms. I love eating mushrooms. I love attempting to identify mushrooms. So I have an affinity for these field guides. This is was printed in 1973. So it's a terrific little book that I'm really happy to have in my collection, and I just love the look of it. Right, it definitely screams the 70s. What else do we have? Let's take a quick look at An Age of Barns. This is by Eric Sloan. And I know you're thinking, why? What? Well, this thing is full of just amazing illustrations. As an artist, things come up where I have to draw things like this. And it's just a great reference, full of paintings and drawings of tools, and I just couldn't pass this up when I saw it. How about The Coffee Table Book of Astrology? Hard to pass these up. I mean, it's just big, bold, massively illustrated. Oh look, there's a whole slew of celebrities. More on that later. You get the idea. Pretty cool book. Let's see what this is, the revised edition. So yeah, this came out in 1967. I had a feeling it was almost as old as I am. This my son picked out, and I thought I would show it off. Mythical Monsters, Legendary Fearsome Creatures. Really neat little book. If he wasn't going to take it, I definitely was. I mean, come on. This thing's barking right up my tree. It's a fun little resource. It's got basilisks and cyclops and dragons and the Loch Ness Monster and the Yeti, and it's fun. Oh, alright, this one's kind of a beast. My wife found this one, and she was like, well, we're taking this. And I couldn't argue with her. I mean, it's Arabian Nights by Sir Richard Burton. Great in papers, and it's just full of really cool illustrations. This thing's a beast. Just lovely work inside. And I don't know if you've read the Arabian Nights, but surely you're familiar with the major works inside. But this is a great edition, the Collector's Library Edition. So there was no way that was not coming home with us. Let's see. Well, that leads us to Tom Hutchinson's Horror and Fantasy in the Movies. See, you put Christopher Lee on the cover of a book, it's coming home with me. It has a foreword by the great Vincent Price. And, I mean, this thing, let's see, what year did this one come out? 1974. Just the highlight of my love of horror. So, you know, thumbing through this, there was no way this wasn't going to become a permanent part of my collection. Horror and fantasy in the movies. So this one's interesting. A box set that somebody wrapped in gold foil, probably Christmas paper, because it's the box itself was just falling to pieces. But inside were these dog-eared, abused, read and reread The Hobbit, The Fellowship of the Ring, the authorized edition of the famous fantasy trilogy, right? The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. I like how it says, this paperback edition and no other has been published with my consent and cooperation. Those who approve of courtesy, at least, to living authors will purchase it and no other. That was, of course, in response to the pirated editions that were being sold in the 60s here in the United States. So this was Tolkien's attempt to get ahead of that. I'm going to have to do some repair on The Hobbit. Like I said, it is well worn. The cover is separated, but it's just lovely. And despite its disrepair, thrilled to have these. So let's turn to the glitz and the glamour that I referenced earlier. Here we have the poster book of movie greats. This is nice and big and bold, and just look at these wonderful photographs. Just positively stunning. The reproductions here are just amazing. And I mean, they're big and just scream class. And here's sort of a companion book. Superstars. And much like the other, And to be honest, the main reason I got this was, look at that great shot of Tarzan. So, yeah, I have a real affinity for old Hollywood, and I love cinema. So, as an artist, I just thought, these, photographs were very inspiring. Um, and as a writer, I like to study faces. Um, and there's just something about these that really jump out at me. And yeah, so there you have it. A spectacular book haul. And some of these may find their way to attic pages, but I'm afraid that Bob's going to keep most of these. So that's all I have for you today. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk again very soon.